We are in day 2 of our daily Bible reading, these daily Bible reading companions. One of the things that the Word of God will force us to do is to consider ourselves. It will force us to look in the mirror. It will cause us to make sure that we ask ourselves questions. One of the things that came to my mind just thinking about Luke chapter 18 are the two men that we read about in verse 10. Two men went up into the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and was praying this to himself: God, I thank you. That's good. He's given thanks. But then notice the rest of his prayer. I thank you that I am not like other people, swindlers, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. So he's looking around and he sees someone and he's comparing himself and he's saying, I'm thankful that I'm not like that person over there. I fast twice a week. That certainly is good. I pay tithes of all that I get. That's really good. But the tax collector, standing some distance away, was even unwilling to lift up his eyes to heaven, but was beating his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, the sinner. Now, one question we need to ask ourselves: who are we like more? Are we like the Pharisee or are we like the tax collector? Well, Jesus said in verse 14, I tell you, this man went to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but he who humbles himself will be exalted. Now, clearly the tax collector and many tax collectors, when you think about who they were and what they did, and we'll read about this next week in Luke 19 with Zacchaeus, and we already received information back in Luke chapter 3 when John the Baptist was preaching to the tax collectors, the type of lifestyles that they lived and what they were known for. Clearly we're not to be mimicking the sinful behavior of this man, but more of the heart that this man had. He recognized his sin, and that's something that's good, and that takes strength to do that. He was praying for mercy. He humbled himself, and he recognized his shortcomings as he went before God. And that's something powerful that we need to have or do. The Pharisee, on the other hand, seemingly just kind of forgot about who he was, did not really consider his own problems, his own sinful situation, or the sin that he has committed or had committed in times past. So it's very easy to look at someone else and to say, I'm thankful that I'm not like that person over there. And yet what Jesus, I think, is teaching us here is this idea of humility. And certainly even the kind of prayer, this penitent prayer that this tax collector gave, as opposed to the Pharisee, who was given more of a pompous type prayer. So great thoughts for us to think about as we look at ourselves through the Word of God to see the kind of heart that we need to have. Hope this helps. Talk to you later. Take care, and God bless.